Hello and welcome to another match review and player ratings from match day 15. We just completed our third block. I'm here with the one and only Koketo, but you guys probably know him as a secret agent. Um, why the name secret agent?
Ish, um, in high school, ne, because Kotlaseng, I was the only Sundowns supporter. So
Oh,
because like I knew so much about Sundowns and I knew so much about the PSL, these people thought maybe like Kike source somewhere because I used to contribute for there were pages where I used to contribute like Kebakwan. I would like and I would submit things over my kickoff and stuff. So these people thought maybe I'm a source there. So one day Babona Babona goes go Sokala Duma, they wrote there was an agent there.
yeah,
Nebua something about a player transfer. And
yeah.
then it said a super agent. And then whenever I converted to secret agent. So it started there. Yes,
Wow.
Tiga till now.
Oh,
So
you used to write things for like you used to write to kind of do. Mara ka jun like
yeah, yeah, I did to this day. But yeah, it just kind of stuck with me. So, so yeah, it's one of those good bad. So that's
Yeah.
where the name comes from.
Yeah, interesting stuff, but we just watched I nearly fell asleep in the second half of that game. I nearly fell asleep. I think it's really around the 86th minute because it was uh, 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 bomb squeezing time. What did you make of that game?
Ish, but man, it was dull. I know like when I watch your videos when it's a dull game. I think it's Cloaks. He likes saying it was a nothing game. It was just we had a period where oh like nah mm-mm, uh-uh.
it, it, it was,
like
yeah,
Sundowns normally in those early stages where it's either they give you chances or they will create chances, and there's a period where they're just sort of managing the game. Kajeko Hone, it seemed like we got that goal and that was it. We were content with what he had. And I thought because we had that goal early on, we were going to kick on from there, stamp our authority in the game. But it never really happened. So just a nothing game. But man, I'm not chuffed about it.
I have an interesting question I wanted to ask you. Do you think Kutumela coming off actually sort of changed the game?
I have a different view, yeah, well, because I saw such a view on the timeline. But I was like a good 5 minutes or so before Kutumela was subbed off. The game, you felt there was a change in the game. But yeah, you might be right in saying the change did have an effect on the game because like Serino didn't really kick on because Okare game in Emushile at some point. Yabo.
Yeah.
But yeah, around that time, the game started shifting from there. You might be right, but I felt just before Serino entered the game, game in a vibe. Like the game was gone. And so yeah, that's how I feel about that change. I think the shift sort of happened just before. And now I felt it before the injury to Putume. But yeah, but I saw such a view on the timeline, yeah, how you know what? Um there was a change as soon as Putumela went out and Serino came in. He sort of struggled a bit to adjust to the game. But yeah, it's one of those what man.
I think I said it in the previous review, or as much as everyone else, like the majority wants, like all, like in all ballers front four, like uh, 3 10 and Shalulile. But do you know how, in my view, I think we were very disjointed if we were to do that because we, our strength is controlling the game from the opposition half and winning the ball in the final third. And it kind of needs a particular aggression, like from last season, you could see like when Rulani said, we are mad dogs, Kopele. And to be honest with you, I remember like that period of like the first 5 games we played last season with Kemet and Shalulile and Mshishi behind them as a tricotista and Rivaldo and AJ behind them. I honestly feel like we played our best football. When Obi started his thing at Meg, that was our best football. I honestly feel like we are better off with ninth and now 10th. You know how I feel like we controlled the game better in the previous block or the other one, where we had Safranco and Shalulile up front, and then we had Mtishi and Mayema, and then AJ and Riva. Same as today, when Kutumela got injured, I said, if it's not Kemet, then I feel like this game is going to be different. And I feel like having C10s and Shalulile, it doesn't give us the sort of aggression that we need up front because we don't have the 1-9 pressing the because most teams will have like one center back like initiating the play. So if you only have Shalulile, it's easy for them to cheat, you know what I mean, and just take it the other side. But if it's 2 of them, you sort of create this other and it also like I think after when we played Supersport, I said it. Rulano was talking about a rest defense. I think it also works against our rest defense when we don't have nines. In my opinion, the way I see it, and from what I hear from the coaches when they talk. So I sort of expected us to have a nothing game after Kutumela. Like I feel like Kutumela and like he might have had a goal the other time. I even mentioned it, but like he's been a bit off form. Same as Lyle, same as Libusa. Even though Kutumela like will get a goal here, an assist here, but without what he contributes, like in terms of goals, the one thing he will give you is what we used to say Kamabuwe, and I think we'll keep saying it season after season. We have that one player, yeah.
I sort of feel the same way because with Safranco, like when like he is when he's on the field, you sort of feel that you have a first man defense. Like he presses so high, he marks, he just bullies people up front. He won't walk around and so you sort of feel his presence even when you don't have the ball, when he's pressing and stuff. So yeah, that shape without Safranco, you can sort of feel it. What, this person is not here. Although like we would love to see our ballers, we would love to see this team playing smack. But at the same time, you see the defense feeling his presence. He presses so high, and his work ethic is so high. And when you remove that and you put on maybe a Sereno, he's a baller. We all know what he can give us, but he won't give us what Safranco will give you up front.
Yeah.
He won't give you that work ethic and stuff. He won't be the first person to press for the ball. He won't be your first defender, like they say. And so yeah, you could sort of see that because both Flus at the back they sort of had that freedom. You know what? We can just press it from the back because after that Kutumela, most it happened early on in the first half, early on in the second half, where it was just a nothing game. It was just nothing. You'd see how what, we are lethargic up front. Even if you are trying to play from the break, it's just we are just lethargic. So it's one game I don't want to remember. Yeah, but at the same time, we ended it on a positive note. Yeah, so I feel we ended it on a positive note. That change Amvala, I feel it just killed the game for Supersport
That's
because
true.
from there we just had the ball, we just knocking it around, and then So yeah, and Cirino sort of kicked on late in the game. He created, I think, two good chances for Zwane and Shalulile. So yeah, but other than that, the whole period, yeah, from the Kutumela sub till my 70th minute, that was just poor from Sundowns, and that was just it's one phase where you really don't want to go back to. So yeah, I just hope that how many games, how many games till this break, yeah, Kev?
Awarok on Tuesday, and then it's Pirates, and then it's Amazulu on the 20th, and then Gallants on the 23rd, and then Rotavera on the 16th of February. So you are basically left with 4 games. So it's basically you have 12 points to play for, like in the next block. At least in this block, we salvaged something. Like now I always feel like 11 points minimum is good enough. 11 points minimum is good enough, and then anything above 11, we are punching above our weight to get 72 points, and we got 13. We got 13, 13 Sepedi, ne? And 111. So if we continue like that, we are breaking our record. And now for me, I don't want to lie to you. I want to see us break the 72 points record. I feel like we will get 74. Um, I feel we'll get 74. I feel we'll go unbeaten, and I feel Charlie will hit 22 league goals. I've been saying that now, like I think since like the second game of the season, and I want to see it happen. But for me, the most important thing here is to close the block on a positive. We are on full digits in points. We didn't finish the block on 8 or 9 on 9 points, which we kind of do when we get to our third and fourth block. So I think if we can remain strong in this block, and I'm not sure if the break will help us or if it will hinder our progress. But the first period in the league is around February, and now it'll be compressed because we won't play any football in Jan. But yeah, going back to this game, one thing I want to say though, out of everything that you and I mentioned, is the fact that Tirino Tirino creates goals. He's always in and around goals, and the two clear-cut chances that he created, like, are clear for anyone to see. It would be interesting for me to see the XG of the front four, um, and I'm sure Serino would probably be near Tembazwane or in and around that. One thing I want to say though is that I was really impressed by the first half. In the first half, I think we played well. I think Ruchin, Temba, Apelo, Blesser looked good in the first half.
Yeah, the first half, most of the first half. Let's just say before that sub, yeah, we looked nice. Like we looked good. We just controlled the pace of the game. We did like basically what we wanted, like
Yeah.
from the middle up front. The guys were just having fun, and hence I'm saying we just had a phase where it was just done. But I would like to commend Sundowns because those first 30 to 35 minutes they were good. Yeah, well, it looked like what there will be a second goal here. There will be a third goal here, and it's just unfortunate that these things didn't happen.
Yeah.
But we really had a good game. I was impressed with Blesser. You know, his first start. I don't know how long.
Since Gallant,
I think
since Marumo Gallant.
yeah, and he hasn't had as many starts this season, but he just came on and he kicked on, and I really loved the positive attitude from him because he hasn't been playing as such, but he just came on and kicked on from there. Yabo. So I was really impressed. Mushishi did his thing. I was sort of expecting that because when we play Supersport, Mushishi is just a different Mushishi, and we
That's
know
true.
we know like you can't touch this guy. It's his game. So we really started well, and It's just those final few minutes where after that change, it just wasn't happening. But those first 35 minutes, things really looked good for Sundowns, and I thought we could have wrapped it up in that period where we really dominated, but it just didn't happen that first half.
Yeah, and you know, like another thing about that first half is I always say that Charlie will miss four or okay, maybe four is an exaggeration. He'll probably miss two or three very clear-cut chances, very good chances, and bury one. You know, even the way he scored today, you thought his first touch let him down, but in that position, like the real killers find a goal in that position. And also, I mean, you know, you thought today maybe like it will be an avalanche of goals because, I mean, you have Boale Fapule in goals and this guy. You know, I actually just read. Let me go to it now. I retweeted something from Rob Delport with regards to Boale Fapule. You know, Boale Fapule was at Supersport when Grant was at Supersport as an 18 or 19-year-old and Grant went to Supersport to Axe. It 2 seasons, I think. Went back to Supersport, played all those years, even eventually came to Sundowns, and Liverpool has been there. I just want to read something. The tweet by Rob Pod says, Liverpool has had an amazing, an interesting career. A decade as a backup at Supersport. It is start. Had 4 Bafana caps. 19 games in 10 years. I mean, this guy has had almost 200. Uh, uh, um, he was named on the bench almost 200 times in all these
Almost
years.
200.
Yeah,
Because I heard the commentator saying like this boy has been so unfortunate that he's been playing second fiddle like all his
yeah,
career
oh,
to
yeah,
England.
and then, like 10 years.
Yes.
Like he's touched 10 years and he's played second fiddle. It's crazy. And I thought, you know, like a goalkeeper like this, but you know, sometimes
He looked good.
You look at it like you get goals against such a goalkeeper. But can you just imagine the type of hunger this man has? Like, not been playing football for all these years. Um, I want to go into our ratings. Phew, I don't even know what type of ratings we are getting out of this game, but it's going to be interesting. One thing though I wanted to mention before we go into the ratings is one thing that really impressed me about our goal is how it came about. You know, how Kudumela won the ball, and after he won the ball, it went to Mayema, from Shishi to Shalulile. That's an almost perfect goal for us. You know, like if the ball goes through all those guys and ends up as a goal, it's almost a perfect goal for us. So that's why I don't even know what type of ratings we're gonna have today, but we can start with everyone's favorite, your favorite, Nisonyango.
Ish, he was he required to do much? I don't know. It was just those set
In the first
pieces
half,
he had to
yes.
deal with.
No, but in the first half, he
Yeah,
had to.
the first half. Yeah, the first half he made some good saves. I remember in the fourth minute he had a top draw save there, and I was like,
From
hey,
Lungu.
at least we have him back. So I will give him a 5.5 on my side.
A
5.5. It's
5.5.
fair.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, Capello, I thought he had a good game today, especially in the first half. You can see who the competition from Kulito Mudau is forcing him to raise his game.
Yeah, like I've always said this. So you know what? Does Tapelo Morana need someone to just shake him up and say, you know what, hey, Tapelo, like I'm here. I'm here. And for years he's had it easy. I think for the last 2 years he had it quite easy. Like no one was really pushing him for a spot. So but like you can see whenever he hits bench and he comes back, he really does well. So I've been impressed from Stellenbosch game to this game, I've been really impressed. So
Yeah,
I'll
the
give
Royal
him.
EM.
Yeah, Royal EM. I keep missing this Royal EM game. Yeah, so so yeah, he's been doing well. So today, can I give him a 6.5? Is it too high? Is it
No, it's good rating.
6.5?
I think it's a good rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to rate Deruk. I think Deruk was fantastic today. I think he was very good. He dealt with Gabuza so well, even though they breached us quite a few times, too many times for my liking. But he dealt well with the threat Gabuza because we knew the threat Gabuza Lungu, and I think he dealt well with that. He had a splendid tackle on Gabuza around it was in the first half, I think. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, first half.
Yeah, in the first half. I'm gonna give the Rook an 8.5.
Yeah, I would agree with that because one slight mistake from Diruk and it's a penalty that day. One slight, it was so perfect. I was like, what? And he does it so often that we tend to forget to praise this man. Like that is a quality interception there. So yeah, an 8.5. I'll take that.
Yeah. I think Grant was okay. Not spectacular, but I think he was okay.
Yeah, quiet game. He just went about his business. He did what he had to do. Yeah, he was just there. He just had a good game. So you rate him or should I go for it?
I'll go for it. I think I'll give Grant a 5.5.
Fair, fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when it comes to Lyle, I think that left back spot needs some competition, Leona. For me, Van Lunga, when he came on and played, at first he was okay, but the other games that he played, I wasn't really impressed with him. I wonder what is going to take for Aubrey to get a start. I wonder what is going to take for Sfiso Ngobeni maybe to get a debut. Because Sfiso, I'm hoping if he doesn't go in January, I'm hoping maybe he gets a debut in the Nedbank Cup if we get a good fixture. But so far, I think Lyle Lena is a bit off form. He's a bit of form for me.
Yeah, and I think it's about time, man. Aubrey gets that slot because yeah, I don't know what like you said, I don't know what it will take for Aubrey to get that slot. I don't know, because Aubrey, he wasn't that bad. In fact, he was not bad at all. It's just that he had a good spell and then he just took over. But so I feel there should be games where he should just be dropped and then just give Umudiba that chance to just play there. You just give that competition like how Morena was being benched for Modau, even though he came back from the injury. Modau sort of played well in that position. So you can see with the return of Morena, he's playing well.
What's the rating of Lyle?
I'll give him a 4.5.
I was gonna give him a 4.
A 4. I can take a 4.
Yeah.
I can take a 4.
What did you make of River's performance tonight?
Leonard, not the kind of performance I was expecting. He also started well, like Mkuli say, he started well and never really kicked on from there. He had a horrible second half. He was just, so I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4, man. No, it wasn't happening. Maybe what's your take?
I'll take it because I don't have a rating for River. I thought he had an okay first half, and then just dipped and disappeared in the second half. For me, Mkhulise gave us the spark we needed in midfield, and yeah, I'll take your four. Also speaking of Blesser, I think Blesser was good in the first half. You know, there were a lot of moments where Nalim Shishi, like they were weaving through passes, like they were weaving passes through the Supersport midfield, and they were getting in that final third. And I think Mkulis and Mshishi, like once they're in the key specialist, especially like with Mshishi, key specialist is zone 14. So once you get Blesser closer to the zone 14 and have Mshishi in there, it's like poetry in motion. So I think Mkhulisa was very good in the first half, and then in the second half, I think overall as a team we were not as good. So it's not easy to have spotted anyone who stood head and shoulders above everyone else. I will give Blesser a 6.
6.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
Fair enough. We move to Maema.
I think today he had a very, very quiet game. Very quiet game. I was saying the last time we mustn't judge Maema based off assists and goals. We must just judge his overall performance. Because you know sometimes when you start giving us goals and assists, that's all we want all the time. But I looked at his overall performance. Most of the time, his decision making wasn't that good. Um, he seemed like the game he was behind the game for me. He always seemed like he's a second behind the action, second behind the pass, second behind in terms of movement. I think Miami today, it was a very, very quiet game for me.
Quite. Yeah, I share the same sentiments. He was really not there. Because you know the link up between him and Zwane.
Yeah.
Once those two start kicking, then as a defense, you just know here it's you just gonna see a horror show here. Because these two when they kick on, they're just wonderful to watch. So today it was not really happening. So it was just a very off day for Miami. But you know, like you can say we can budget for that performance because he's been really good this season. So maybe such a performance was maybe gonna come. So but yeah. So yeah, he was just really off today.
Yeah, and you see, for me, if you told me at the beginning of the season that Miami, because he's on 8 goal contributions, he's definitely gonna touch 10 and go above. But before the season started, before we kicked the ball, if you told me Miami will have 10 goal contributions as a new signing from Celtic that I never even thought about, I was taking it.
Yeah. So
do you have a rating?
For me, it has to be. It has to be a 4 if I'm generous. It has to be.
Yeah,
if I'm generous.
Yeah, if you're giving him a 4, please say if I rated Blesser too high, because I'm thinking of that mistake in the 40th minute where he got pressed. But
yeah,
no.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, no. But I think I'll keep it. We'll hear what people are saying in the comments, but I think I'll keep it. What did you make of Tembazone's performance today?
A lot of people say I'm being too critical of this god we call Tembazane.
No, but you deserve it. You deserve it.
He was.
You deserve it because you guys are getting the agenda, so it's that.
No, but like the reason why I do this is because I know what this man can do for us. I know what I want. I don't want like mediocre, average performances. I know what he can give us, and I know where he can take his football. Well, hence I'm so critical of him. But today, he started well again because I saw in the pockets like they just couldn't pick him up. They just couldn't pick him up. He was just running the show, and as soon as the team went down, Lena, he just went off the rails, and then he had. But as much as we went off the rails, the chances that we had were from him in that period. And before Serino took over with the chances that he had were from him. He created our goal and he created a lot of our chances. So I'm not gonna be too critical of him because he created chances for us, even though you can say maybe the team was a bit offish, but he created goals. He was the Mshishi that, and average Mshishi in your team is the best player in your team. So that's how good he is. So he created a lot of chances. So I'll give him, but man, I'll give him a 6.5.
I'll
I'll
take
give
it.
him a 6.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take
I'll
it.
give him a 6.5.
Yeah, because you're right. Because besides the first half and besides that splendid assist and that other chance for the second half, there's nothing else. But yeah, I'll take your 6.5. Shalulile, with Shalulile, it's such a crazy thing. This man is it's such a, I don't even know. I don't have the word for it because in the 8th minute he misses it. One of the clearest chances that he can get, and then Bualifa plays the ball, and then we win that ball. I think it was a 50-50 between against Kutumela and who. We win that ball and Mkhishi put him through. And you think to yourself, Mona, in the space of 20 seconds, you're gonna lose a second chance after you see that first touch. But the moment he connected with the ball, it was never doubt in my spirit whether the ball is going in, especially because he played it across. Could have scored a second one in the second half, but Boalifa was good there, and that was a very good save. You have to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
So this man is on course. I've told Neo, I was saying it in the previous review that in I don't know if I saw it in a dream or it's in my spirit. I see 20 league goals from Sharlile, and he's only 10 away. I mean, last season he had 15 goals, and he's already on 12 now, and it's not even. We are a week and a half away from Christmas, and or 2 weeks. Yeah, we're 2 weeks away from Christmas, and he's already on 12 goals. Whereas last season he was on 15. So I think he might be on 15 by the time we go on a break, and when we come back, he can score 7. So yeah, man. Sherry Lily, I'm gonna give him a 7.5. I know overall it wasn't that good, but this man, I don't know how many points he's won for us.
I will share what Peter said. I would rather have this man miss chances than him disappearing. So I want him there to miss. I want him there to, just to shake things up. Because I remember against Royal EM, he missed. that was a horrible miss. He comes back, scores 2 goals, and then hits the post in one half. And I'm like, but this guy is just so.
I'll take the misses. I'll take the misses
because, and remember, Shalulile in the second half of the season, he can just score 2 goals against Chiefs, 2 goals Pirates, 2 goals Steelies, 2 goals here, 2 goals here, and then you find this man on 24 goals at the end of the season, and you're like,
how and when?
And so yeah, I would rather have him miss those chances because I know he's always there. He's always gonna poke. He's always gonna poach. So yeah, I'll take the 7.5. Yeah. I'll take that. He wins so many points for us. So yeah.
What rating are you giving Gaston?
Gaston, it's pretty tricky, this thing, because Gaston came at a period where the game shifted from us, and then he was just missing, and then he just comes back, creates 2, and creates a couple of half chances for us, and you're like, but then this guy Lena, so he's so elite that even if there are moments where he's not there, he creates so many chances, and you just learn to appreciate the guy. So based on the chances that he created, I think it's very fair for me to just give him a 6.
Oh wow, isn't a 6? Oh, what good? Not a 6.
Is it too high?
It's too high. Now I was thinking a 5. Nothing because of
like I'm like, this dude created our clearest chances,
in the
like our
second half. Yeah.
clearest of chances. So it sort of it should elevate his ranking because he created 2 solid chances and 1 half chance. And I'm like, so if we give him a 5, what are we saying to him when he create 3 chances in like that? I don't know, but I feel those chances should elevate
But the thing is,
his.
but the thing is, like the way we are playing now, like there's no space for a luxury player, and if he's not gonna do, if he's not gonna bring the intangibles with the tangibles, uh, it's a bit difficult, because we keep saying, "Hore, the game changed," and as much as we can probably prove it the way the coaches can prove it, or how the analysts can show, Hore, bringing on Gaston changed, sort of tweaked the way we changed the way we played and whatnot. Now we are not as qualified to prove it now, but with I test the arena and the amount of time we've invested in the game, in our opinion, we feel like it's possible that the game like changed because we had Gaston and we were no longer pressing as we were pressing. Counter pressing arena like was off. You know what I mean? And that's why I get it. Like, hey, I see. Maybe we can negotiate for a 5.5.
I'm looking at.
We're
I
not
think
gonna
he was
negotiate
up
here.
on. No. I'm trying to maybe I'm bringing it low, and because I'm looking at what you said about the intangibles.
Yeah.
Because from the 35th minute to the 70th minute or so, where he created his first chance, he was really off.
Yeah.
Like I said, he ended very strongly, Serena, but before then he was just really off. So okay, let's not negotiate because you mentioned a very strong point there about intangibles. So
Yeah.
it's a 5.
Yeah.
It's a 5 because he was really
I want
off.
to mention something that just came to my head now. I know we've agreed on this, but for the last week I was saying to get for the benefit of maybe someone else. One thing I'm not sure if you realized in the first half, and even in other games, have you realized, Hori, you also find Grant sort of joining the midfield Hanyane, like and trying to push high up. Either that or you find Tapelo sort of inverted and Ivo Gargi it's a midfield three. Grant did that in the first half. Like there was a moment where like he intercepted the ball and he was sort of part of the midfield. He sort of like joined Rivaldo when Blesser was a bit on the far left. And those things only happen when we've pinned our opposition so far back. And when when Gaston was on the field, you no longer saw those type of things. That's when you saw a lot of like running behind Grant, a lot of running behind more especially Grant. And that's when you could see Capello like chasing Reyners because they were playing that ball behind of the right shoulder at Grant. And like those are small things that maybe like not everyone will look at because most of the time I think people just are reactionary to results instead of performance. And most people when they say we've had a bad performance is when they didn't see a lot of goals. Like Ili game whereas there's so many other details we can go into.
We made 3 changes, no?
Mm-hmm.
So Mvala came on in the 75th minute.
Yeah.
Did we have a sub before that?
Yes, the
I'm
only
trying to
sub was
picture.
Gaston
Someone came
Fukutumela.
on for.
No, it was
Huh?
Gaston Fukutumela, the first
No,
change. It was the first change.
yeah, Gaston. Yeah, there was a first change in the first half. I'm talking about the second half. Did we have a change before Mvala?
No. He was the first change. He was the first change. It was Mvala for I forgot for who, and then it was Nascimento for Blesser. We only had 2 changes today.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Mvala, I believe that change, Mvala, like what happened think previous game where he really staked his claim in the middle. So I'm really loving this Mvala. I don't know, man. There's this energy about him. You know, previously people would say, this one can't trap the ball. This one, when Mvala is playing, you won't see Sundowns playing. And then, you know, it is so beautiful when he comes in, he just knocks the ball around. He just, you know, tackles here and
Just
there. And I
disrupt.
felt that, yeah, and I felt that the free kick that they had in the last minute or so, it was pretty harsh on him because I don't know, he won the ball, but I don't know, but because they say the events that happened afterwards, his stats were really up, and then he got that free kick. But I feel that, you know what, he won that ball, but overall, he just disrupts play. You know, he just you can't play through that guy. He's just it's either Khosala ball or Khosala way, but so I loved it, but like he had 15 minutes. So is it enough for a rating? I don't know. Is it enough?
It means, yeah, we won't rate him in Nascimento. Me, when I looked at like what he did when he came on, like he even had like that one shotted goal, even though it wasn't on target, but it was very, very close. And he took it very well. Like the technique was so good. Um, I think now if I were to rate Mbala, I'd rate him a 4.5, but not 4.5 a performance. Yahoo, like he had a bad performance. For me, it's just that he didn't have a lot of time on the pitch. Uh, I think when he came on, there was a difference. I think there was a difference. Like he wasn't just a sub. I think he was a good sub for us. A little too
You
late.
know, I love what he's doing because as much as like he is solid in protecting our back four, he does things on the other end of the pitch. Because I remember against was it Royal AM, there was a pass he gave Shadulile, and then there was that pass
Yeah,
where
it's the one where
he
Shalika
gave,
hit
I
the
don't know
post.
who he gave. Yeah, and it was like, hey, Mvala, that was a good pass. And then today he nearly scored. And I'm like, I love this Mvala. I won't lie. Because there's a positive vibe about this Mvala, and especially this season. Let me not say this Mvala, but this season he's been really showing up when he's getting that chance to play. So yeah, I really loved what he did tonight. So I'll take his performance. But yeah,
Yeah,
4.5 I will take. I can take it. I can take it.
yeah. I want to hear your take on this one. Yeah, we are nearly done. We're on the coaches now. What rating would you give the coaches for today?
The coaches, I don't because I think now for my like I think these coaches are too hard on themselves because last game they said I think Ulani said they got it wrong.
Mm.
Like how I don't how did you get it wrong? Maybe you will have your take on that. Like
I think
we did so well that game, and they're really hard on themselves. So for the coaches, the selection, no one could complain about the selection. It's like it's the selection we wanted, all of us. So I'll give
yeah.
it and changes came when the changes were necessary. Even though we had that bleak stare, we had the lead. So because Supersport like didn't have those clear cut opportunities, we had the lead and we could manage it in that bleak phase where things were really not happening for us, but we could really manage it at the back. So for the coaches, I'll give them a 6 because of how they handled it. They didn't rush into changes, into making changes for from the 45th minute to the 70th minute, things are not happening, so we're really rushing it. I think they could sense, they were not very reactionary. They could sense what is happening, and I think um, like there was not a major threat from Supersport, so they just kept it together and they didn't risk Linneo because he came from that injury, so they didn't risk him. They just gave him 70 minutes, 75, withdraw him, and then so I'll just give them a 6. A 6. I don't know about you, but I'll give them a 6. They're just too hard on themselves. I don't know why, but maybe they just that's what winners do.
Yeah,
'Cause,
no,
yeah,
I like
yeah.
your take. I like your take, and I love your rating as well. I agree, Leona. I think most from from here going forward, I will judge them a second round. I'll judge them how they, because to be honest with you, I feel like this is a season where they are really cutting their teeth. Coach Mangobale Rulane, I think this is a season where they're really cutting their teeth. I'll judge them how they manage the second round and eventually lead us to the finish line. But I agree with your take on the game Megajino, and I also agree with your rating. I'm happy, Kayon.
What is like your rating for the first half of the season? Your rating, Jay.
Uh, it's, it's a bit difficult because they're so fit, but for me, because now we still have 4 games, and it'll be just one game to our to finishing our fourth block. Um, if in the if in this new block that we're going into, if they can get 13 or 15, I will say it's been a very successful first round. But anything below 12, even if they can get 11 in the next block, I will say they need to do better. But because from last season, even this season, we've never had a perfect block where they went five wins in a row. Um, I think it's long overdue now. Like they need to find a block where they will get 5 in a row. I know this was one of our most difficult blocks, and the one that's coming now is a bit difficult as well. But I'll judge them after this next block. For now, I'll say there's nothing spectacular they've done. It's sort of copy and paste from last season where we have like tricky draws here and there, but they still salvage some good points. So I can't judge them off based off that. If the season ends, but they have 15 or 15. I might not be as impressed. But yeah, man, thank you so much for joining us and giving your takes. It was a truly a nothing game, and hopefully the next games are better than this. We hope to see you guys after the game on Tuesday and also Friday. We're going into a tough week. So yeah, thanks for watching. Continue to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment there. See you in the next game.